was a narrative that Team Ennis pretty much ducked Terence Bud Crawford. Bozy Ennis explains what happened from his side of the story. Now, salute to my boy at YSM Sports Media. You guys go check out and subscribe to YSM Sports Media on all social media platforms. Of course, he was in Bozy Ennis' gym and he had to get to the bottom of it, right? We know our boy YSM, he has to get to the bottom of it. Bozy Ennis explains what happens. Check it out.
From an interview that you did,
right,
about Terence Crawford and the offer from BLK Prime, and then they just ran with a whole narrative that you turned down a fight with Terence Crawford.
You know that wasn't true.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on it, because we never got a chance to talk?
Let me tell you about it. I had a phone call from my man, Blue Blood. He called me up and says, Bo, I said, what's up, Blue? I can get that fight for you, man. We can get that fight for you with Terence. I said, man, listen closely. Make that fight. You know, we want that fight. You know what I mean?
So Blue Blood, apparently he's a matchmaker now, right? Blue Blood Sports TV came up in the world. He went from, I remember early on, he was driving in an ambulance or something. Blue Blood came a long way. Now he's a matchmaker in a sport of boxing. I mean, he was calling the fights at BLK Prime. Blue Blood doing big things out here, man.
I said, you know, we wanted him or either Spence. It didn't make no difference. As long as we get the fight, we see where we coming from, right? He said, yeah, I can make that fight, man. But would you talk to Zab and the head of BLK? What's his name?
Desmond.
Desmond. Yeah. You know what I mean? I said, yeah, I'll talk to him.
So apparently Zab Judah also has a stake in BLK Prime as well. I mean, we haven't heard nothing from BLK Prime since the Crawford Averigian fight.
He got on the phone. All three of them matter of fact, was on the phone. We talking. And I was taken from them that they really was trying to get us to come over their side. And I explained to him, and so the guy Desmond, he was saying, we can make the fight happen and we can do this. I said, well, listen, y'all make the fight happen. That's the fight that we want. Make it happen. You know what I mean? And we can get it on. So he says, what about you coming up? I said, no. I'm with Showtime. You know what I mean? I said, now
that was the sticking point for a lot of people. Bozy Ennis is with Showtime. Bozy Ennis, Jaron Boots Ennis, they are with Showtime. BLK Prime, apparently they was trying to get them to, I guess you could say, go behind Steven Espinosa and Showtime's back and work out a deal with them. And you know, that's not doing good business. That's not doing business in good faith, in my opinion.
You want to make the fight, you call Steven Espinosa and talk to him, discuss that. Because that's who we with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and when I said that, I said, plus I'm loyal to these guys. I don't just leave and go to another, promotional company or whatever you are. And he says, okay, because it'd be nice if you come over. I said, okay, I know that's, but I don't do stuff like that. But I knew what they were implying about. They wanted me to come over to their side. So I told him, just call Steven up. When you talk to Steven, call him up and we can get that stuff together like that. And he said, we'll call him and we'll get everything together and we'll talk later on, right?
It looks to me like Terence Crawford was having Jaron Boots Ennis as a plan B option. That's what it's looking like to me, right?
So that was it. So I called Steven up. Was a couple of days later, I guess when they called him, 3-4 days later. And I talked to Steve, and I said, Steve, what would they say? He said they was talking stuff, but they wasn't talking about him fighting Boots, you know what I mean? Like that. I said, yeah, but that's what they supposed to be talking about. He said, yeah, we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna discuss what we're gonna do with with Terence and Boots. That's what, you know what I mean? I said, yeah, well, if you want to fight, just let me know. That's just what Steven said, right? And they said, well, we'll call you later on. Never called him back. That's what happened. So they trying to say that we never turned the fight. I talked to Terence last night. We never turned the fight down. We've been wanting to fight Terence way back.
So Bozy talked to Terence I guess this video was the yesterday or day before yesterday. Probably the day before yesterday now if you're watching this video. But they talked to Terence. So they a phone call away. Right? Terence Bud Crawford, Bozy Ennis. The fight was literally a phone call away, it seems like.
You already know that.
Yeah, was Terence under the impression that you turned down the fight?
Yeah, they that's what he said. That's what he said. But I don't know who he was talking to with that, about that. You know what I mean? But we never turned down a fight. I said, now listen to this. This is what I told Terence last night. You could have fought us, but you're going to fight Avenesia. And then I said, Avenesia, you could have fought us. And then Terence said, well, Boots could have been number one in the WBO. Number one in the WBO. What's my man name? Virgil Ortiz. He was number one, and just somebody else. And Boots is number 3, I think, in that organization.
Number 2 and number 3. Yeah, right.
You're number 2 and number 3.
Boots was number 2 at the time, and let's just be real. If I remember correctly, if I get my timelines right, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but Virgil at one point already I'm not sure if the timing was at the same time or Virgil made his move first. Because Virgil, let's be honest, he was number 1 in WBO for a long time, and he allegedly turned down a Terence Crawford fight. He wasn't ready, whatever the case may be. He opted to go to the WBA route. So that left Bozy Ennis in the WBO. Now, did Bozy Ennis already petition for the IBF to become the interim or fight for the interim or whatever the case may be? It looks to a lot of people that Bozy Ennis chose the IBF route, which is the Errol Spence route. He could have possibly stayed in the WBO to become eventual mandatory for Terence Bud Crawford.
So we was number 1 in Spence organization, the IBF. That's who he's going after. That's why, you know what I mean? But all you had to do was call us. We would have took that fight. You ain't have to fight Avenesia.
Who was Avenesia ranked in the WBO?
Way behind us.
Avenesia, I believe at the time when he fought Crawford, I believe he was number 6 in the WBO. I believe he was number 6. Yeah, I think he was number 6 or 7, but I believe it was 6. So yeah, I mean, they went down the list. Avenesia rose his hand first. It's not like let's just Avenesia. The fight with Avenesia get a lot of flack, but Avenesia was a dude that was wrecking shit in Europe, right? Had a KO streak. He had a lot of he had some momentum with nothing to lose going into that Crawford fight. Whether you like him as an opponent or not, dude was on a winning streak. It's not like he was a dude coming off a loss. He was knocking out dudes, and then he ran to Terence Bud Crawford, and we saw what happened.
You know what I mean? So if you really wanted to fight us, you could have fought us. That's what I said.
Yeah, I didn't understand why people just ran with the notion that you didn't want to fight when you've expressed that you wanted this fight for years.
But you've been on it. You've been on it. Everybody else been on it. We've been calling guys out. You said we take the fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know?
So I think Bozy Ennis, really, they just, unfortunately for them, right? I don't think they ducking fights. This is opportunity for these guys. You know what I'm saying? This is an opportunity, and they won't know unless they take that chance. So I'm not seeing the Ennises ducking fights like that. I'm just not seeing it. They ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? They really ain't got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I think this whole thing was maybe it was just bad timing, maybe it was just a miscommunication, maybe it was just a situation to where Crawford was over here with these guys at that particular time, and they was over here with Showtime, and they didn't want to go behind Espinoza back. I mean, you got to respect it. It's loyalty. There's a such thing still, especially with the OGs. You know what I'm saying? There's this thing called loyalty that still exists, right?
So for anybody watching, did you turn down the BLK the BLK fight with Terence Crawford?
No, but everybody know me. They know I didn't turn down nothing but my collar.
Salute to my boy YSM, man, for the interview, man. Bozy Ennis finally explains what happened with the Terence Crawford BLK Prime situation, right? It's looking like the division is going to be moving forward now. We know what's going on. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence got 2 fights with each other, right? 2 fights. It could possibly be 3, depending on how this thing plays out. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. So Look, Bozy Ennis just got to simply wait his turn. Now, who could be a good opponent for Jaron Bozy Ennis in the meantime? Somebody like Keith Thurman, somebody like Udenis Ugas. I wish my boy YSM. Well, actually, he already asked Bozy about Keith Thurman. They said they'll take those fights. So, I guess that'd be a foolish question, because I know that they're not going to turn down that fight. But one thing I want to say about the Ennises, they got to start applying more pressure. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be sitting here just waiting. Now, you got to apply pressure. You know, Keith Thurman's out there looking for a fight. Go tackle that task. Like, go after Keith. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's guys you can kind of go after in the meantime to really set yourself in position in the division. I mean, he's already in position anyway. He just got to wait for his turn. Unfortunately for him, Errol Spence got the IBF belt, and Errol Spence, you know, he kind of, you know, been out for a while. So, you know, he ain't get a chance to really mix it up. You know, and plus Errol Spence is going through with this unification, undisputed fight with Terence Crawford. That takes precedence over my IBF mandatory fight. So Bozy Ennis and the Ennises got to wait a little bit longer. Maybe sometime in 2024. Hey, look, time is on Bozy Ennis' side regardless. It's just a matter of time, right? So yeah, there goes. That's the story, you guys. That's Bozy Ennis' side of the story. They said they didn't duck Terence Crawford. He said he talked to Crawford the other day. It seems to me like Crawford had Bozy Ennis as a backup plan. Just the fact that he was on the phone with these guys is letting you know that he ain't dodging and ducking nobody. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.